Hi, welcome back to Iris After Hours.
We are so excited. We are here with one of our amazing friends. She's been a friend of my family for decades, literally. This is Susan Silvestri. She's a professional actress, dancer, choreographer here in LA, and writer.
And author. La la la.
Devotional journey. It's a journey.
It is a journey.
It's a journey.
That's right.
Called Holy Fit, Holy Free, which she's going to talk to us about. We're so excited you're here.
And we were going to get you in even before you wrote this book for our podcast. So this is just a bonus. Because she's such a superstar here in LA, and we love her. But she's got a book now. Tell us about this book, Sue.
Well, first, before I do that, I just wanted to say that last night I woke up at 2 a.m. and God does that sometimes to talk to me. But I started watching some of your podcasts.
Oh, come on.
And to lull you back to sleep, probably.
That's right. No, not at all. No, but I was just so impressed. I just wanted to tell you guys that knowing Christy since she was a baby and watching her grow up, French braiding her hair in the bush, and just to see what God's done in your life and to see how you've just matured and the way that you communicate with people, connect, you listen so well. And it's just so beautiful. You're so intelligent. I'm so proud of you. And I know your mom is, of course. And Nathan, of course, you just have that bubbly energy all the time. So it's really, it was a joy to watch that last night and to be able to be a part. So thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, absolutely.
And okay, so you asked me about the book.
Yes.
What inspired this?
What inspired this? That's a good question. I have gone through some tragedies in my life in the past few years. And as you know, I had my sister-in-law actually took her life a couple of years ago. Gosh. And it just... Yeah, it was very intense and very traumatic. And you
were with the family, hey? You helped.
Yes, I'm very close to my brother.
You're like a first responder,
Yes. I would think I was the first one that he contacted, and I went down. He has 2 teenage kids, and just love them to death. But it was a time when I just felt like I had to pull back. And just, I've been a writer my whole life, but I've never done it professionally. I've been so active in gymnastics and dance and, different things physically that I never really sat down and just wrote. I studied journalism in school.
That's right.
Yeah, so journalism and...
journalism.
Yes, and theater arts. So we both, yes, we're on the same wavelength. But I felt it was time to come full circle and to really get out some of the things that God was doing inside of me through the sadness, beauty from ashes. So I sat down to write another book, which I'm working on now, about joy through despair and hope through disillusionment and beauty from ashes. But in the meantime, someone came to me and said, would you be willing to go with me to write with me a devotional based on fitness? He knew I was into fitness. I'm Pilates instructor.
And your entire life, fitness has played a really active role in your life because you were in gymnastics before. Yes. You've been in dance your whole life, pretty much, right?
Yes, exactly.
So,
And you're a Pilates instructor.
Yes, all of those things. Yeah, I'll have to get you guys on one of those. Yes. Actually, you've been on one. Yes. Yeah, I competed gymnastics through college. I write about that a little bit in the book. And I coached high-level, Olympic-level gymnasts for years, ran a gymnastics academy. And so, yes, I've been a part of that world for a long time. And so he asked me to do this devotion with him, and I read what he had written, and it was from such a male perspective, no offense, But it was just like, there was a Bible verse that said, discipline yourself, and so he said, you need to just discipline yourself. You need to diet and exercise. And I just thought, wow, that's like
inspiring.
Well, for some people it probably is, but that's not the way God touched. Yeah, that's not the way God touched me. And because I had just been through this whole journey of, someone, realizing that people are not whole, that they're hurting inside. I just realized that there had to be something deeper to all of it. And I wanted to come up with a version that took out the religion of diet and exercise and made it more a lifestyle of freedom.
Wow.
And wholeness. So mind, body, soul, spirit. That's broken up into 4 different parts. And there's 10 days of each one, but also just really focusing on like self-image, because I work with because I'm an actor and dancer, I work with a lot of women who have a distorted self-image, and just, their significance is based on their resume or how they look, or the job that they got or didn't get,
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to create something where they could actually, it's actually, you can participate. There's activations in here to participate. There's 2-way journaling.
Yeah, and it's 40 days?
It's 40 days. Okay. Yes.
So really manageable.
Yes.
And it touches on a lot of different aspects.
Yeah, achievable. That's
right.
About 40 days.
Yeah.
I could do that,
Right. And I actually use it for a group that I've been working with called Women of Worth.
Yeah. What's some of the feedback you've gotten?
Oh, it's amazing, because, it just touches my heart so much, because to see women get in touch with what God is telling them, because it's one thing, to get a prophetic word from somebody else, but to actually get a prophetic word for yourself. The prophetic word is, the heart of God, what he's saying to you in and through you. So because of the 2-way journaling that I do in here, are you familiar with 2-way journaling?
No, explain that.
Mm-hmm. So I took a course when I was in Toronto at the school up there, the mission school, and the place where your mom...
The airport church.
Got... wrecked, totally wrecked, and changed, your mom and dad, and changed their whole ministry, basically, from what I understand. Same place. I took this course, and it was 2-way journaling from Mark Verkler, and it is just basically being still, quiet, quieting your heart, putting on soft music, and then envisioning yourself in a place, one of your favorite places, with the Lord. And then you just ask him a question. You write down, because I've always done journaling where you write, your day and whatnot.
You're just
processing. Or dear God, but this is asking God a question.
Whoa.
What are your thoughts toward me? Do you love me? Things like, how do you see me? And you just wait for the spontaneous flow, which, it talks about in 1 Kings with Elijah, just that still small voice.
Oh, yeah.
It's not in the wind necessarily. It's not in the fire. It's not in the earthquake. It's that still small voice. And so you're just waiting for that, and you just start writing. You don't question it at all. You just start writing and see what God is telling you. And it's pretty amazing, because
incoming wounded. Oh, sorry, we're not MASH.
Yeah,
MASH.
All right.
She's too young. She's too young for that.
Helicopter. I always say incoming wounded, and all the MASH drama would stop, and everyone races to the tents to help the wounded.
We're not in a professional sound studio yet.
Come on, yes. Coming. It is subscribers,
coming.
and we can film at YouTube. We only need 500 more subscribers to our YouTube channel.
All right.
And we can film at YouTube studios here for free in LA.
Yes, I feel it coming. I know it.
Yeah. So you learned about 2-way journaling there.
Oh,
and
yes.
then you got to incorporate
And then
it.
I got to incorporate it. Yeah. And just to watch these girls for the first time, some of them, get in touch with what God is telling them about who they really are, their identity, their self-image, how
Hearing God
he
for
sees them.
themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's activations in here for each day, journaling activations that say, like, look in a mirror, write what you see, and then close your eyes, pray to God, ask him what he sees, look in the mirror and write again what you see.
Cool.
And just, I think a lot of them have never really done that, asked God. And so, that's been really exciting for me to see the fruit of it.
That's so relevant here in Los Angeles, where there's just such a pervasive culture of what do I look like? What am I doing? Where is my value?
Totally.
So, that's amazing.
And the saleability of your look for the industry or whatever,
You guys know you're actors.
Come on.
Actors.
So what do you like better, Sue? Dancing or acting? Because you do both.
I do.
What do you like best?
That's a really good question, actually. I love to dance. In Chariots of Fire. Do you remember that movie?
Yes.
It said, when I run, I feel God's pleasure. And when I dance, I feel God's pleasure. For sure. But acting, there's something about the magic of it all coming together, being on set with the cameras and just being able to express God's heart through your eyes.
Yeah.
My favorite role was when I played Mary, the mother of Jesus.
Oh, yes.
And I got to really express and I had to search, like, what was she feeling? It was amazing.
Wow.
As a mom, and to think, because most of it took place between the time that Jesus died and rose again. We had these monologues that we had to, like, what was she thinking?
Yeah.
What were they thinking?
Yeah,
like they didn't know for sure he was going to rise. So all of the prophecies that came back and everything. So
Do people still watch that film?
Mm-hmm,
What's it called?
It's called The Easter Experience.
The Easter Experience. And where can you find it?
Is it on YouTube?
It used to be on TBN all the time, but I think it is on YouTube. Okay. And I think you can actually order it. A lot of churches do it as a study now. So it's broken up into like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, so you can order it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you talk to us about the transition from spending years in the gymnastics world and your call into the entertainment industry?
Yeah.
How was that journey for you? Was it a surprise? Was it something that had been kind of on your mind for years before?
Yeah, I think, God knows the beginning from the end. So he kind of prepares us along the way for everything and implants in our heart, what it is that he has for us. So I think the gymnastics really built me for perseverance.
Yeah.
And
it's unique.
Yes. And just
long suffering with pain.
Yeah. I mean, I was still dancing all the time. And so I hadn't really explored the world of acting because growing up in Chicago, it wasn't really a thing like it is out here. The acting thing, it was like, you're an athlete or you're a thespian. And that wasn't, as cool there. Yeah. Growing up, I grew up with 3 brothers that were all athletes.
Right.
Yeah. And so,
yes. You're the youngest?
I'm third, but we're all 1 year apart.
Oh, so. Wow.
Yeah.
Your mom had a hairstyle.
You're like 1 year apart.
I never thought about it till I had kids. And then I'm like, how did she do that?
Earth?
God bless my mama.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Things were different back then, but still, 2 was enough for me. I love my 2 kids.
Yeah.
But the transition from the gymnastics into the acting and dance and all that, it kind of came slowly. I was always dancing. I mean, your mom and I met dancing in a...
Yes, this is the whole thing. You were at college together, were you?
Yes, way back.
Which college was it?
Early 20s. It was Orange Coast College, but we ended up doing this film together, and that's how we met. We got cast
on YouTube.
We got casted. I almost brought a little clip. I should have.
What's it called?
It was called Press Between the Leaves.
Press Between the Leaves.
And we were
We must bring this up Heidi next podcast.
A wedding party. I actually have a picture on my phone, I think. But we were in a wedding party, which...
Pretend wedding party? Or a real wedding party?
Oh, no, it was pretend. It was film.
Film, yeah.
It was a film. And we were dancing. And yeah, and we just connected right away, spirit to spirit. You know, you recognize spirit. And it was awesome. And... yeah, we, from then on.
You've been friends ever since?
Yes, yeah, and she really...
Was she married then to Roland?
Yes,
yeah.
But Christy wasn't there yet. And my kids weren't there yet, yeah. So it was exciting. We've gone through a lot of that
That's crazy.
stuff. They hadn't even started, I don't think they even started the first ministry. Maybe they started Rainbow Ministry.
Yeah, that was early days. For sure. And you've been to Mozambique a number of times.
3 times.
Done a lot of dance ministry stuff there. Can you talk to us about that? What was the impact for you of that experience? And what did you see? Did you see that impact the girls in Mozambique that got to learn to dance and express themselves that way?
Yes, well, you were there, and
I was in dance. Some of them.
Yeah, Christy was my little assistant. She was awesome.
Come on.
Yeah, but I did see it impact the girls. I think even going along with the question, you know, about the transition, I think that helped me transition because I saw what was behind not just the performance. You know, I saw the heart behind, like, God creating us to do art, you know, and the impact of that. And so it became something much deeper and richer for me in performing after that, and in even acting, which came along a little bit after that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one life-changing experience from that. The first time I was there in 1998 in Maputo.
In Maputo, yeah.
Yeah, that was when the trash dump was still open, and we would go and we would minister.
Wow.
And it was crazy because Heidi is there. You know, we're collecting people to go to this little cement slab, you know, to have a little service in the middle of the trash dump, which was flies and stench everywhere. You remember, and just dirty. And we're walking. She's in flip flops, and I'm in like combat boots, you know, because I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm not getting to this.
There's like this big rat sitting there, you know, that the truck had run over. And I mean, it was big. I have a picture of it still. And I was, my goodness, you know, like, oh, so we're collecting people, and, you know, Heidi's just kissing people, you know, dirty, filthy, you know, and it just really touched my heart. And I'm thinking, wow, Lord, you know, you should be careful what you pray. I'm like, break me to the point where I can be like this, you know, where I don't care, where I can just be free to love on people like that. And he's done it since then. No. But so anyway, we do the service, and she says, Sue, would you please do a worship dance for them in the middle of the trash dump, right? And I don't know if you were there. You might have been there. And so I was like, really, here now? And back then I was used to more choreographed, you know, things, and, you know,
that's crazy
stage.
now, because I feel like you would just do anything now.
I would. I know.
Yeah.
See, I know. That's what God's done in me.
Yeah.
So I started doing this dance, and she turned on music on the big boom box, you know, and I started doing this dance, and I just. Your dad was kind of smiling and kind of laughing, and something just broke. And I just started like laughing and dancing.
Woo.
And God spoke to me and said, if you can dance here, you can dance before kings.
Wow.
And this is the best audience you're ever going to have.
Woo.
And yeah, just from then on, honestly, it just changed my whole perspective of performing. And working with the girls, working with the orphans, I was kind of, at first, I was like, well, what, they have this amazing dance, they have their African stuff, which
absolutely.
I ended up studying after that and
totally.
danced with an African company here in the States.
That's
I was the only white person. So that was kind of fun. But, but I'm trying. But
so it inspired you.
It inspired me. But they all loved the American. They loved the ballet.
Oh, it's such a universal love language, I feel like. And for them, every time someone comes and teaches dance, I've even gone and taught, I think, one of your dances to girls before, and they love it.
Oh, he loves us.
Yeah.
That's what, yes.
It's one of their favorite things.
Yeah.
They just get lost in it, and it's so fun. And they love learning the different styles. Yeah, it was really impactful.
And you're right. It's universal love language. It's like a smile. That's what I say. It's like dance and a smile. It's all you need in the bush.
Yeah.
And the guys are good at dancing in Africa too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I miss it. I miss it.
Yeah. I know.
That is their worship, isn't it, in Africa?
Oh.
You start, there's like an hour of dancing.
Their church services are like all day dance.
Yeah.
Like, this is a party. This is the way it's supposed to be.
Activation.
But I write, even in here, I write about dance and how it helps with memory. If you want to stay young and keep from getting Alzheimer's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that they say how...
All right, sign me up. Got to do it.
Come on, dance every day.
Yeah, and that's, for people that, that's been in people's culture forever, is dance. So...
I know. The U.S. seems so stagnant that way sometimes.
Who does?
Just the U.S. culture.
Oh, I thought you said you guys.
Oh, no. American culture, it's
true.
not as prevalent, I feel like. In Africa, I feel like it's just everywhere.
Yeah, if
you move
it's
and
true.
you celebrate.
Right.
Think,
yeah.
That's so weird.
Because we don't have as much social dance. It's like you have to go take a class to do that.
Yeah, it's more fun.
Or it's like club.
Whereas in America, it's every day, isn't it? It's life.
It's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like get together celebration equals dance.
And I think,
celebrating God equals dance.
Right. And they don't have rules.
No.
We have a lot of religious rules as well. And so, for a long time, it wasn't even allowed in church.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you still stick out a bit if you're dancing a lot during worship.
Yeah, Heidi had to give up dance, I think, at one stage.
Yes.
Because college wouldn't allow it.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't go to the college she was going to go to because she was dancing. And they said, you have to stop dancing or you can't come to this college.
Right.
Isn't that right?
I was like staring at him like, I don't know if it was the college or it was the church.
I think it was the church, the ministry, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But, yeah. I don't know how much you can talk about this, but your journey, even going to Africa and kind of experiencing that world, has also inspired you to write about that, right? You're kind of a passion to write a film that's set there.
Yes, I wrote a short film and entered it in a contest, and they said it made it like into the top 10 or whatever, but they said it was too much like a feature. And that's because that's the way I was thinking, it's a feature. And so that's what I would love to do. And it is based on the experience. You're actually in it.
Come on.
With a different name, but it's you. And you'll probably be playing your mom at this point.
I know.
But yes, I did write that. And then I've always wanted to do a documentary because I took, so for the people that don't know, but there was a baby dying in the trash dump when...
That's right.
Yes.
I forgot to ask you about this.
Yeah, when that first year when we went and ministered in the trash dump. So we took her back to the orphanage, and she was still dying. She was 1.5 years and weighed 8 pounds. And yeah, you have little kids, so you understand. Yeah.
Gosh.
But
mine were 8 pounds just about when they were born.
But back then there was so much chaos. Remember, like with the government and everything. So somehow they just let her out of the country, and your dad flew her back.
I flew her back with my dad.
Yeah.
To the States?
To the States.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to have to talk to you about that trip sometime.
Yeah.
I heard he's like feeding her Coke to try to get her to be quiet on the plane.
I don't even know. I was pretty young, but she had like her face was all infected, and so she had a skin disease, so she was like oozing
white
and just this tiny little thing. But we brought her to the US to get adopted.
And apparently they let her out because they just wrote her off as being dead, right? Is that... Yeah.
She was very, very ill.
Yeah.
Oh, so the Mozambican government let it go.
Yeah, because they got...
She's going to die anyway.
No, it never happens now.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
So we fostered her back to health, taught her to eat and walk and talk, and she came to the gym and bounced around on the trampoline, and it was such a joy. One of the hardest things I ever did was give her up, but I knew God was telling me, I prayed and said, Lord, I will give, because she was very needy at the time. I said, I will give up everything, dancing, the gym, everything, if this is your will. And I told my kids to pray about it. They were young, they were like 10 years old. And my ex-husband, but no one could really say, no, we're supposed to keep her. And then I understood why, years later, she ended up with this family where they really wanted another child, couldn't have one. And her and her sister are very close. And I just went to her high school graduation 2 years ago. So it was amazing. And we still keep in touch. And so I've always wanted to do a documentary, connecting her with Ephigenia, who's her half-sister.
Yeah,
who's still there. Mm-hmm. Because years later, when I went back, she was my little dance assistant.
Oh, no way.
Amazing.
Yeah, and we realized, so Shara introduced her, but this was in Pemba, and before I was in Maputo. Mm-hmm. And so Shara said, oh, this is Ephigenia, she's going to be your dance assistant. And I said, wait a minute, Ephigenia? I said, was she in Maputo? And Ephigenia looked at me and went, I said, did she have a baby sister? And she looked at me and shook her head, and I showed her pictures, and we just cried and held each other for like 10 minutes. It was amazing. But I would love to reconnect them someday. And
oh my gosh, it'd be amazing if she could visit. That's such an amazing story.
Yeah. But then ironically, I just met with a producer 2 days ago, and he was talking about a writer producer, and he came to me asking if I have experience in Africa.
Wow.
He has this story. And so we're going to collaborate now on, so I'm going to be able to share some of the things that have happened there.
Come on.
And, yes.
Amazing. Exciting things to come.
Yes.
Wow.
So there are films in the making.
Yeah.
It's like God's timing, seasons for everything. It's just like the way my writing has come full circle now. I realize that he just has a season, a time and a season for everything to be the most productive.
Yeah, absolutely.
What he wants to say through your life.
Come on.
Incredible.
So get fit and get free, man. But wholly fit. And wholly free.
And how can people get the book?
It's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon, yes.
It's on Amazon. You can also go to susansilvestri.com and learn more about it.
Okay, yes, I was going to ask you your personal website. Amazing. Yes. susansilvestri.com.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for coming here and sharing this. It's an amazing story. And this book, I'm sure, is going to be an amazing tool for so many young women who are just going to get, and older women who are going to get so much out of this.
Not ages, all ages.
Yes, all generations.
Well, the other thing, one more thing I would love to share about this is that there's a lot of very practical fit tips, because I think we don't always realize how much our physical affects our spiritual.
Exactly. And I want to bring this in as the 6th core value of Iris Global, physical fitness.
He talks about this.
Trying to
it's so important when you...
close to accepting the 6th core value of physical fitness.
Well, I think your mom has always been...
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my
parents.
My parents put me to shame.
Roland too.
Yeah.
Roland always working out, running and tennis
and there's so many good nutritional things that you can be doing that are very simple. For instance, like some of the fit tips, like drinking water. You should be drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water a day. That's very easy to figure out.
Yeah.
You know, you're 120, you should be drinking 60 ounces.
Crazy how
you
could forget to do that. It's nuts.
Yeah, and that's very healthy. But one of the most important things that affects your emotions and your mood is your gut. And just keeping that cleansed. And people just don't understand. Like things like refined foods, and mostly white foods are refined, or soda, sugar, and corn syrup can produce candida, which makes you bloat and is just not good for your gut. But keeping, the proper probiotics, keeping the healthy bacteria where it needs to be, because our gut is like our second brain, they say. And I work with a nutritional company actually, and I work with these scientists that have written a book called Your Third Brain. And they tell how your gut actually has as many neurons, 100 million neurons as your brain up here, as your the organ.
Interesting. Wow.
And it transmits constantly, 90% transmits up, and it affects your mood and emotions. So if you keep that
crazy
clean, then it really does. It affects, and the serotonin and dopamine. And because going back to my sister-in-law, she was bipolar, and you realize how much that also affects. Like they're finding great significant results with people with ADHD, bipolar, any kind of emotional disorders or mental, disorders, clarity. Yes, just by cleaning out your gut. And keeping it healthy. So it all plays together.
I've got a gut feeling that you're right too.
No, I'm excited because I think
even when my dad almost died. He got sick enough.
Yes.
He almost died. And one of the huge things was getting him off all of these medications that doctors had prescribed that he was like addicted to, and like gave him all these other crazy symptoms. And they were basically just injecting him, I feel like, with like carrot juice, like things like that, like just
high
juicing.
Minerals,
and it was incredible how big of a role that played.
Yes.
In finding healing.
And purifying his diet, eh?
Yeah. Oh, it was huge. It's crazy. It's crazy that it can be that simple.
I forgot about all that, with your dad.
But we're pumping people with prescription meds all the time.
Right.
Wild.
Wow.
Right.
But that's so good.
Looking after the temple.
Yeah.
It is.
Looking after the temple.
I love how it's all connected because it
Mm-hmm.
really, truly is. You can't really disassociate your fitness and your spirituality and your emotions. It's all part of you. And
exactly.
It's amazing.
Right. So that's what I'm hoping to help people with through this.
Super
I love it.
Come on.
Awesome.
And your
We're
mom
so
wrote the
excited.
forward.
Yeah, she did.
Forward by Heidi Baker.
Yes.
It's true.
It's true.
It's awesome.
So I think we're out of time, aren't we?
Yes, real quick, rapid fire questions.
Come on.
Super profound.
Yes.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I am Shadowlands and Jesus of Nazareth.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. Even though I was in another.
Lewis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Even though I was in another Jesus movie, Jesus
That
of
wasn't your
Nazareth
favorite.
was, so well directed, and just the heart of God just came through every scene. So
Yeah, they showed that at World Expo 88. There was a Pavilion of Promise. They had Christians put together a pavilion for the World Expo in my city in 1988. I'm showing my age here. But that was the film that was showing
Yes.
Jesus of Nazareth. They showed that film.
Robert Powell had those
Robert
blue eyes, and
Yeah.
Franco Zeffirelli was such an
It's a
amazing
Zeffirelli film. Yeah,
director.
that's right.
Yes. So
That was definitely the Jesus movie of the day.
I still watch it all the time. It's like
Incredible. I never
reading
hear
the Bible
that.
to
That's
me.
so sweet.
And Shadowlands, Anthony Hopkins, eh?
Yes, Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, yeah. So sad.
We did the play. I did the
Oh,
version
you
of the play
did?
after the movie came out because I was with a Christian theatre company in Australia
Oh.
called Harvest Rain. It's still going, by the way. in Australia. But
Wow.
we did Shadowlands, and I was in it. I played the doctor, had a few small parts helping him out, but yeah.
Oh,
It
that's
was good.
awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that story.
If you could pursue any other profession, what would it be?
Wow.
You kind of have a lot going on, actually.
Yes, you are very multifaceted already.
Lately I think I might get into something government-wise.
Oh,
Come on.
I can see that. That's awesome.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe sometime in the future.
Maybe you still could. And finally, it's almost March, which is crazy. But what are you most excited about this year? 2018.
That's a good question. Well, I just feel like God is opening the floodgates.
Oh, come on. Prophesy it, Sue.
My family's been through a lot of despair and a lot of things, and I just have been pushing through saying, no, I'm fighting for my whole family, and even as far as love, like finding love in our lives and my kids and, my brother now who's, it's been a few years now and, he's suffered loss and even my mom, my father's been passed away for 5 years, but so she's getting married May 19th.
Come on, Mama.
She's 81 years old and found this amazing 86-year-old man who is full of life and energy and loves God. And so I'm helping her plan her little backyard wedding May 19th. So I just said, you know what? I believe that's God just opening the floodgates for our family.
Come on,
and
Jesus.
We're going to move forward and, financially and love and all the other wonderful things he has for us.
I love it. Family year. It's amazing.
Amen. That's
Come
it.
on.
Thank you, Sue, for being here. It's so fun.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
It's awesome to have you.
I love you.
I love
Like just
you.
having a friend over. It's great.
Yes.
And thank you to all of our listeners. You can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, sign up for YouTube as well for Iris Global on YouTube.
We're at 9,000 something.
Yeah.
Once we get to 10,000 followers, we're going to do a giveaway. So maybe for one lucky listener, there'll be a book. They will be same kind of different as me, DVD potentially.
Yes.
We'll do something fun.
If you are
Subscribe.
if you're the 10,000 subscriber, you're going to win it. No.
You're not well, anyway. But help us get there.
Yes.
Our backstage people are freaking out.
We're making this up as we go.
But yes.
You guys are awesome.
Get the app.
Yes, we love you guys. Thank you for listening and have a great week. And we'll see you again next week with another episode of Iris After Hours.
Bye.
This podcast is presented by Iris Global. For more information or to support the work of Iris Global, please visit us online at irisglobal.org.